Okay, guys, today we're looking at some dating advice that women are giving on TikTok. We want to see if it's toxic or if it's healthy. Toxic. Let's just see if it actually is good advice.
Men that lose their masculinity don't get respect from women. True feminine women do not want to see their men cry. It is a big turn off. Men don't have the ability to be like us mentally. They'll be seen as weak. They could give their women the money, the world, all the juice, and they get cheated on. You might think that you want a man to be equal to you. I think that if you get that, you will lose the respect for him because his masculinity is going to be out the door.
Yeah, this is just bad advice overall. I think what she's saying is that if a guy cries for no reason, or if he cries a lot, he loses that thing that makes him the alpha, that she looks up to, right? Again, it depends on context. If a guy can cry because it's the correct emotional response given a certain event, that is attractive. Like if you saw a guy and he just heard his mom died, and he just like, oh, okay, cool. That is a red flag, okay? So showing emotion and vulnerability within context is good. It shows that he's emotionally healthy. He's wired correctly, okay? This is from the Fresh and Fit podcast, I think. Yeah, there's this whole slant towards like, guys, alpha, successful, gets all the and like, that's the way the dating game works. It's not for the majority of people, okay? It's a guy who's balanced, stable, has healthy emotions, knows what he wants, is dominant, but also is caring at the same time, right? And this is just, don't listen to advice like this. It's terrible.
You have for someone dating in London?
Well, traffic's bad, so make sure it's someone local to you.
Don't go for roadmen. Don't go for footballers.
Don't go for boys on Snapchat. Don't go for a boy who looks like he's going to give you a lot and then just doesn't.
Don't date Aquarius men.
Don't go for anyone.
Yeah, go for girls. Trait and name, keep and cane. Be cool.
Date somebody that you've been introduced to, not met online. That's how I met my husband. I married my husband, but he was a gangster.
All good advice according to the context of those people. Some people were just, trolling. You can meet people online. You don't have to not date anyone of a particular category. A footballer, he's on Snapchat, who cares? Just because someone else's advice is good for them, it doesn't mean that it works for you. Okay, take it in context.
2 pickup lines older guys can use for younger women. This works so well. So, I am way too old for you. This works. It's reverse psychology. Just trust me, I can explain why. If only I were XYZ years younger. So if you're 25 years older, say if only I were 25 years younger. If only I were 30 years younger. If only I were 15 years younger. It's a really great line because it makes them start thinking, ooh, he's interesting. He's not trying to get with me. He's not being a typical guy.
It's not a bad opener. It's what we call disqualifier, right? It's like, instead of saying I'm too old for you, you say you're probably too young for me, right? So it becomes a disqualifier and a challenge. Those openers aren't bad, but I think the premise should just be like, I'm just gonna talk to them like a human being, right? Like, hey, you look interesting, are you? And then if I find out they're a little too young for me, then I may say these things. But in the beginning, I think just treating it like a normal interaction is better than bringing the age gap up right away. That's my opinion. Maybe because I'm Asian and I look young, but if you're going after younger girls, that's the first thing I would give as advice that comes to mind.
The real reason why men date younger women is not because of their physical appearance, their bodies. No, because today with plastic surgery and everything else, you barely know who is 40 and who is 18. Guys date younger women because they're easily manipulated. They're gonna be very happy with a few crumbs because maybe they didn't experience much in the world. They're gonna be just easily impressed. And it's way cheaper to date a younger girl.
Okay, first of all, plastic surgery can't hide the fact that you're 40 versus 18, okay? There's still a huge difference. You just look a little better as you age. Second of all, not all young girls are easily manipulated. They're a little bit naive. They might be more prone to certain tricks, sure, but they're not easily manipulated. Thirdly, yeah, even young girls, women these days, especially American women, they want everything. They're expecting a lot. It's not just older women.
In the world, they're gonna be just easily impressed. And it's way cheaper to date a younger girl.
Not really. It's not cheaper to date a younger girl because older women, sometimes they work and then they offer to pay for stuff. So you're more like equal in terms of economic value. Yeah, just overall wrong advice. Do not listen to advice like this. Nothing against her. I don't know who she is, but this is just bad advice overall.
Men literally love to be like, oh, I'm a triple threat. Meanwhile, those 3 things are punk, ass, and
I have no comment on this one other than to say men brag too much and women hate too much. Don't brag, don't hate in dating, accept as it is and navigate and find love for yourself. That's the only advice I have for you there.
Listen. The boys don't want us to know this, but they have this like photo album. Not on the camera roll. Forget about My Eyes Only. It's pretty much on like an app. The ones that I have been exposed to is like the calculator app. So it looks like he has like a normal calculator. Girl, it's not a calculator. You type in a certain code and then the photo album comes up of all the nudes pictures he has of the girls that he used to be involved with. So you need to go on his phone and find that app, okay? Because it exists. It might not be a calculator for him, but it exists.
Okay, I've never heard of this calculator app. It's pretty clever. Some apps will disguise themselves as certain icons. But do not access someone's phone without their permission, okay? The only exception I can think of is if you have a very high probability, a lot of evidence that he or she is cheating. Maybe in those exceptions, it may be an exception, but otherwise don't do it. Did we learn anything today? Yeah, I mean, look, dating is tough, right? You're putting yourself out there. You have the chance of getting hurt. So a lot of people develop techniques or defense mechanisms to prevent getting hurt. But that's the cost of playing this game. It's you're putting a heart out there. Now, you want to be smart. You want to protect yourself, right? You want to apply the techniques that will filter out the right people for you. But when you listen to advice like that, consider, this is who I am. This is congruent to who I am. And also, is this advice contextual, right? Be careful of absolutes, like you always have to do this, right? You have to take into the context of the situation and evaluate if it's right for you, okay? I would say don't find dating advice on TikTok. Some of the YouTube stuff is better. But overall, I would say finding good dating advice can be hard. There's some resources and link in the description that will help you out if you're a guy looking to improve your life. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.